April 2017, a great white shark washed up on a beach near Gansbaai, South Africa. Fishermen who found it noticed something wrong immediately. The shark was untouched everywhere except one place. A single, clean, surgical incision behind the pectoral fins, and through that opening, one organ had been removed, the liver. Nothing else was eaten. No bite marks on the flanks. No torn flesh, no sign of a struggle across the body. Just one wound and one missing organ on an animal that is supposed to have no natural enemies. Within 6 weeks, 4 more great whites washed up on the same stretch of coast, all with the same wound, all missing the same organ. And then something happened that had never been recorded in the history of this coastline. The great white sharks left. Not a few of them. Not for a few days. The entire population of one of the most famous white shark hotspots on Earth abandoned the area, and for long, stretches of time, did not come back. Something out there was hunting the oceans most.
Look at the depth here. It correlates directly with the sightings. Indeed, the apex seems to favor the deeper channels during the migration. You dominate this entire area.
Feared predator with surgical precision, and it wasn't interested in eating the shark at all. It only wanted one thing inside it. To understand what could do this, you first.
Did you see that? It must be 50 feet long!
Have to understand exactly what a great white shark is and why almost nothing in the ocean is supposed to be able to touch it. Carcharodon carcharias, up to 6 meters long. Over 2 tons. A bite force estimated at nearly 4,000 pounds per square inch, among the strongest of any living animal. Rows of serrated, triangular teeth constantly replaced throughout its life, backed by a jaw that can generate enough force to bite through bone, cartilage, and thick blubber in a single strike. Its senses are built for hunting in conditions.
All right, easy now, watch the swell, take it down slowly.
5 meters and holding steady.
Okay, bring it down slowly, watch the waves. It's clear on this side, keep going.
Where almost nothing else can. Electroreceptors in its snout, called the ampullae of Lorenzini, detect the faint electrical signals produced by a beating heart from meters away, even when the prey is buried in sand or hidden behind rock. Its eyes adjust between bright surface, light, and the darker water below. Its sense of smell can detect a few drops.
Make sure the rangefinder is calibrated.
Already done. I'm noting the current conditions now. Looks like a large one, heading east. Did you see the dorsal fin?
Yeah, I'm logging it now. Visibility is dropping fast.
Of blood diluted across what would fill an Olympic swimming pool. It is warm-bodied in a cold-blooded world. Great whites are regional endotherms, capable of keeping parts of their body, muscles, eyes, and brain, warmer than the surrounding water. That single adaptation gives them faster, muscle contraction, sharper vision, and quicker reaction times than almost any other fish in the ocean.
This historic map clearly identifies the Gansbaai region as the primary survey zone.
Look closely at Gansbaai. This is where the highest populations were traditionally found, right within this survey zone.
It is, by every physical measure, built to be unstoppable. For most of its life, nothing challenges that. Great whites sit at the top of coastal food webs across the planet. They ambush seals from below at speeds that can launch their entire body clear out of the water. They have been documented preying on other sharks, on dolphins, on whale. Carcass is far too large for anything else to touch. Juvenile great whites have few predators. Adults, for most of the 20th century, were considered to have none at all. This is the reputation the great white carries into every ecosystem it enters. Apex, untouchable. The reason marine biologists studying the coast of South Africa were so unprepared for what? They found on the sand in 2017. And yet, here was a 2-ton apex predator, dead, with a single wound and a missing liver. And here was an entire regional population of the ocean's most feared shark, doing something white sharks were never recorded doing before: leaving. Researchers had 2 questions immediately. What killed these sharks? And why only the liver? The second question, it would turn out, wasn't a side detail. It was the key to the entire mystery. The answer had been hiding in plain sight for years in. A place nobody expected to look. Not a bigger shark. Not some undiscovered deep-sea animal. The killer was already one of the most recognizable predators in the ocean, and researchers had 2 individuals in particular they could actually name. Port and Starboard. 2 male orcas, first identified off the coast of South Africa. Named for the direction their dorsal fins collapsed, one to the left, one to the right, a rare condition that made them. instantly recognizable to researchers tracking the coastline. For years, they were just two orcas among.
Recording dorsal fins, approximately 50 meters out. Both males appear healthy.
Many, occasionally spotted. Nothing especially remarkable noted about their behavior. That changed in 2017. Their movements started lining up, almost exactly, with a very specific kind of carcass washing, up on the beaches nearby. To understand how two orcas can systematically kill an animal, built like the great white shark, you have to understand what a shark's liver actually is, and why it makes the great white uniquely vulnerable to a predator that knows. Exactly where to look. A shark has no swim bladder. Bony fish use a gas-filled bladder to control buoyancy.
Look at how it uses its fins, almost like wings, maintaining perfect buoyancy in this immense body.
Sharks don't have one. Instead, they rely partly on a massive, oil-saturated liver that can account for up to a quarter of their total body weight.
Look at the volume of this squalene.
It's incredible how much they store.
Measure the density
That liver
right
is
here.
packed with a low-density oil called squalene, and it is gram for gram, one of the richest energy sources in the entire ocean for an orca. That needs enormous caloric intake to fuel a body built for speed, endurance, and complex. Coordinated hunting, a great white's liver isn't just food. It's close to the most efficient. Meal available anywhere in the sea. The hunting method itself has been observed and filmed. Orcas approach the shark from below or from the side, using their speed and coordination to ram or flip. Sharks, including great whites, have a reflex called tonic immobility. Flip a shark upside down, and its body enters a temporary paralytic state, muscles.
The attack is swift and brutal. The lead male rams the shark while the second bites the fin, forcefully flipping it into a state of tonic immobility.
Locked, completely unable to swim or defend itself. It can last for several minutes. A shark in open water. Several minutes of paralysis is a death sentence if something is waiting. Once the shark is inverted and immobile, the orca doesn't need to fight. It doesn't need to overpower thrashing jaws or risk those teeth at all. It's simply opens the body at the one point that gives the fastest access to the liver, extracts it with what researchers have described as almost surgical precision, and leaves the rest of the animal largely intact. The entire process, from ambush to extraction, can be over in minutes. This is not the same as a typical predator kill. A lion eats what it can from a carcass over hours. A great white itself will tear repeatedly into a whale carcass, feeding messily, opportunistically. What Port and Starboard were doing was different. Targeted, efficient, almost clinical. They weren't hunting the way predators normally hunt prey. They were extracting a specific resource from an animal that happened to be a 2-ton apex predator and treating the rest of the encounter as incidental. For a while, nobody could say. For certain that orcas were responsible.
We started noticing this systematic pattern emerge around 2017. The data points here indicate a spread that we hadn't seen before. As you can see, once we added the 2017 data, a systematic pattern emerged along the entire coastline.
If we cross-reference the date logs with the carcass discovery locations, these acoustic tag numbers, highlighted in red, present a clear anomaly.
Great white carcasses had washed up on this coast before, and the causes were usually put down to entanglement, boat strikes, or natural death. What made 2017 different was the pattern and the fact that researchers, for the first time, had the tools to actually track it. Dr. Alison Towner, a shark biologist who had spent years studying the Gansbaai population, began cross-referencing carcass reports with tagging and citing data. What she found was consistent. Every time a shark washed up with the same wound, the same missing liver, sightings of Port and Starboard clustered in the same waters. In the days before, it wasn't a coincidence that repeated once. It repeated every time. Drone footage eventually captured part of the answer directly. In one widely documented 2022 encounter, off Mossel Bay, the two orcas were filmed working together, splitting a great white between them in an attack that took under 2 minutes from first contact to the shark. Going still. Researchers watching the footage described the coordination as deliberate. Practiced, the kind of behavior that looks less like an opportunistic kill and more like a technique. The two of them had refined together over years of hunting side by side. And the pattern held at a scale nobody expected. This wasn't two orcas killing the occasional unlucky shark.
The satellite data shows a significant temperature drop right here. That's exactly where we saw the sharks yesterday. Okay, so we head straight out to the coordinates.
Acoustic tracking and long-term sighting data across the region began showing something researchers hadn't documented. Before anywhere in the world, wherever Port and Starboard's presence was confirmed, great white sightings. In that same stretch of coast collapsed, sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months, before slowly.
Oh my God, look at the size of it!
Get the shot, get the shot!
Woo!
It's right there.
Look at that, it's huge! Oh my God, did you get the shot?
Right there, right there.
Make sure you sign the waiver before we leave the dock.
I heard the visibility isn't great today.
It's fine once we're in the cage.
Returning once the orcas moved on. This is the part that turned a strange set of carcasses into one of the more significant findings in recent shark research: great white. Sharks were not just occasionally avoiding two specific orcas. They were restructuring their entire relationship, with the coastline around the risk those orcas posed. Gansbaai had been known for decades as one of the best places on Earth to reliably encounter great white sharks close to shore, built into an entire ecotourism industry around cage diving and shark viewing. Following the 2017 attacks and the repeated pattern of orca presence that followed in subsequent years, great white sightings in the area didn't just dip.
The acoustic tracking confirms it. They've relocated hundreds of kilometers eastward along the coast, far from Gansbaai.
The data confirms it. This acoustic tracking shows they have relocated hundreds of kilometers away from Gansbaai along the coast.
In some periods, they dropped to nearly zero. Operators who had built businesses around near-guaranteed shark sightings were reporting weeks with no sharks at all. And the sharks didn't just hide, they left. Tagged individuals that had used the area consistently for years were tracked relocating to different stretches of coastline. Entirely, some moving hundreds of kilometers, avoiding the risk rather than simply waiting it out. An apex predator, one that had ruled this specific water for as long as anyone, had studied it, was choosing to abandon its own territory rather than share it with. Two orcas that knew exactly how to kill it. There is a secondary effect researchers are still tracking closely. With white sharks gone from parts of their usual range, other species lower in the food chain, particularly Cape fur seals and broad-nosed seven-gill sharks, have shown signs of shifting behavior in response, a ripple moving down through the ecosystem from a single predator-prey relationship at the top. Removing, or even just displacing, an apex predator doesn't just change that animal's life. It changes the shape of everything beneath it. We tend to think of the apex predator as the end of the story. The animal, so dangerous, so perfectly built, that the food chain simply stops there. The great white has worn that title for longer than almost any other animal on Earth, built over. millions of years into a body with no obvious weakness, no natural limit, nothing designed to stop it. And it turns out the limit was never really about strength at all. Two orcas, working together, didn't need to be bigger or tougher than a great white shark. They needed to understand exactly one thing about it, that the shark itself couldn't defend. Against a single reflex, a single organ, a single point of access, and the coordination. To exploit it in under 2 minutes. The great white shark still rules the open. Ocean in nearly every sense that matters. It remains one of the most formidable predators alive, but somewhere off the coast of South Africa, in water it used to consider its own. There are 2 dorsal fins, one leaning left, one leaning right, that it has learned permanently to avoid. Because being an apex predator was never a guarantee that nothing could touch you. It only ever meant that, until now, nothing had worked out how.